So it seems like YouTube want to screw over their content creators and not actually show the subscribed videos to their subscribers. So if you can hit the little bell thing, that'd be amazing under the subscribe bit.
Your turn, Yugi boy.
So, today we're going to talk about something that I've actually moaned about for quite a long time. And it's something that I feel really holds Yu-Gi-Oh back as a game. And it really invalidates a lot of what we do. And the main driving factor behind why we go to tournaments, or one of the reasons why we would go to tournaments, and that is the prize support. So prize support in Yu-Gi-Oh! There's something that we should establish straight off the bat. While other TCG games like Pokemon and Magic offer cash prizes, Yu-Gi-Oh! Does not. The history behind that is the creator of the game didn't want the game at all to have cash prizes. It was a kind of baseline, no, never happening, never in my lifetime. So that is why it doesn't happen, and that's why you'll probably never ever see cash prize on an official Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament scale like your nationals, your regionals, your worlds, your Euros, all this stuff, national qualifiers, all that crap. So we're going to look at this in two ways. We're going to look at the main tournament, then going to look at the Dragon Duel. But I'll talk about the Dragon Duel first, just to give you a bit of perspective. So, Dragon Duel, obviously for the young little kiddies there, the aspiring duelists, they work their way up and play through the tournament just like us. And they get worse prizes than the actual normal tournaments, which is surprising, right? So the Dragon Duels get, if they are so lucky, when they actually win, they get a playset of the Dark World, or Dark Lord card, sorry. They get a YCS prize card from how many years ago? It's one of the oldest things I've ever seen. It's for me, it feels like they're giving out stock cards there. It feels like that they don't have certain things, or they have older stock of the Dark Lord cards, and they're just getting rid of them. And it's the super rare Dark Lord cards as well. So this is literally one of the first things that always annoys me. I know that younger kids might not really be too bothered like we are about the certain prizes. They get like a trophy, or they don't get a trophy. I think they get a medal, which I think is cool for the Dragon Duel, and they get they get paid attendance to the next one, and I think their parents also get that as well, which is really cool. It's nice to involve the family with that type of stuff. But just the prize, giving them a like 2012 prize card, is it? I think it's something like that. A really old prize card, when each year the normal tournaments gets a refresh of its prize cards. Dragon Duels have had the same thing constantly, and it's a really old, pointless prize card. And it's one of the first things I think needs to change. One of the biggest things as well is I feel like for the kids, they should tailor it a little bit with the Dragon Duel. They should really give some, I'd almost say like school-esque product. It'd be really nice to see. I did see a little bit a while ago that there were some Yu-Gi-Oh! Or at least Konami Yu-Gi-Oh! Like notebooks that they were doing over in the US. We never got them in Europe, as usual. I saw them and I thought that was really cool, and it would be a really cool thing to do as well, to have notebooks for kids, to say that they were either a part of it, because that is not an expensive thing to print. And on the front, it's just like the black book and not like a normal A4 or let's say 5. You could just have on the front like attendee or winner or anything like that with the big Yu-Gi-Oh! It could even be the most generic thing in the world, but things like that is really cool because it gives them a product that they can bring to school, and it's all really cool where they can't bring their medal or they can't bring their cards. It's something quite cool to show off. It also promotes learning and homework and all that, so I think it's a nice way to engage them. It's also nice for the parents because they're getting something that's practical back from it that they can use in the real world. So I think something like that would be quite nice. But Dragon Duel is really, really shit upon in my opinion. I feel really bad for them. You should be looking after some of the youth that are coming through the game, and you're promising duelists. And I know there is every little bit of attention to be done there, but just if we just think of it like this, I think it's around here. The top 8 get 2 boosters in Dragon Duel. Top 8 get 2, and all this information and all these prize breakdowns are on the Konami website. They're on each of the YCSs that I just look at. That's where I get all my information from, directly from the source. That's kind of insulting. They don't even get, like, you know, proper prize support. And I know that sometimes there will be less of a Dragon Duel turnout than obviously the main YCS, but you still should be investing in them, and we should still be giving them adequate prizes for what they're doing, because it gets them excited, and that's what you're really investing in. So let's switch on to normal tournaments. So let's just break it down. So this is what the basic prize breakdown is. So first place currently, if I'm going off what YCS Bochum was just gone, it was the most recent YCS we just had in Europe. First place got a trophy, PS4, 1TB, Legacy of the Duelist, and an ultra rare prize card with paid WCQ travel to obviously WCQ. After that, second and third place will get a super rare version of the prize card. They will also get a PS4. And then after that, it gets a little bit depressing, because, you know, people get like a box and a mat after that, and that's about it. And it just feels like between fourth place, fourth pretty much, and 32nd, you just get like a mat and a box for going through a ridiculous tournament. So let's take YCS Bochum as the example, since we're using their prize support. YCS Bochum had like 1,000, I think it was nearly 2,000 players. So that's a big 2-day event, right? You get through those, I think it's like 14 rounds or 30, there's quite a lot of rounds, put it that way. And then you go into top cut. And if you get all the way down to fourth and you become fourth, you get a box and a mat. Cool. I'd be really annoyed personally, because at that point you've got everything to lose and you've got nothing. And the problem with this is that there are so many old things that people are that Konami are putting into this. So let's just break down the prize support just for first place. So you get a trophy, cool, fine. You want to give a trophy, that's completely fine. I guess it's nice for some people, for others it's just literally pointless because they're not going to do anything with it. A PS4 Pro, 1TB with Legacy of the Duelist. Why are we still giving out 5-year-old consoles? The people who want a PS4 or an Xbox One, whichever console, they'll already have it by now. It's literally dead weight. It is pointless. If I went to a tournament and won, got a PS4 Pro, I wouldn't know what to do with it. I'd just be like, does anyone want this, I guess? Because I don't, because I've already got a PS4. I think giving consoles for these types of events, these types of prizes, is pointless. The console market is something that is always changing. And if people, the way that people work, and coming from a gamer from my aspect, if a console comes out and I want it, I'll buy it. If I really want it, I'll definitely buy it within probably the first couple of weeks. By that point, people who might not be as fortunate as myself might need to save up for it, so on and so forth, or whatever, because they may be in a university or college, or even before that, they're younger or they don't have a job. They might not have the money then. But if they really want it, they'll save up for it, and probably within a couple of months to maximum a year, say, they'll have it. So why are we still giving it out now? And then including Legacy the Duelist, isn't that like free anyway? Even that, it's not exactly expensive. The only good thing about the whole of this is that you have the ultra rare YCS card. That is literally the only thing, and that is the money card for you. Gets you between £500 and £1,000 depending on when it was released, which one it is, if it's a chase card or not. And that's literally it, and obviously you have the bragging rights. And I know that a lot of people will say, well, that's where the bragging rights are, that's the really cool stuff, right? Well, yeah, I guess so. But there are a lot of other things that could be done to shake up the price support to make it actually worth it for people. Now, you need to, in my opinion, take care of, first place can kind of take care of itself because of what it carries. You get the paid travel to the World Championships, which is good, and that should always happen. But arguably, it should be extended to probably second place as well, but it depends on what they want to offer. One thing that they should do is look after second to 32nd. Literally, this massive gap just don't really get anything fun. Obviously, second and third get the super rare version of the YCS prize card, and that's maybe like £300 or 400, again, depending on what it is. But there are so many other things that should be done. First thing that should be done is 32nd should at least get a single box. There is no reason why all of this top cut shouldn't be getting at least a box of the top cut. When it goes to the top 16, it should be at least 2. Then when in the top 8, it should be at least maybe 3 or 4. it's their product. It's not exactly expensive on their side considering everything. And I realise that this goes down to a cost value, but let's face it, there's a lot of cost cutting already with the lack of prizes that people get. I don't believe for one second that they don't have a budget for this. I don't believe for one second that at their cost prices, at what they run, they can't give more just simple boxes of the current set. I just don't believe it for one second. But then there are just so many other cool things that could be done. And I see, like, one thing that I thought was always really cool was the uncut sheets from the current set, or even older sets if you really want. But America do this in like their side tournaments, and we don't. And I feel like we should for the top cut. It would be really nice to have, you know, an uncut sheet of maybe just like the secret rares or the ultra rares or whatever in as a prize card. Maybe that could be second, third and fourth, who knows. But it's really nice, it's really cool items like that we just don't get. And I feel like they just need to have a little bit of imagination, because if they had a bit of imagination, then there's a lot of other cool things that could be done. Look at the top cut mats, for example. I think they should be personalised, and not personalised to the point where their name's printed on it, but personalised to be either first place or winner, or like second place, or top cut, top 4, top 8, top 16 and top 32. They just give a little bit more of a, I don't know, personal feeling to it, and people might actually want to keep it, instead of just being like, yeah, it's a top cut, it's a generic thing, I know I can get it down the line. If people only have the top cut of, say, I was in the top 4, I have my top 4 mat, I know there are only 4 of these, or 3 of these technically, given out at the tournament, then I might want to keep hold of it, or they might want to sell it for more. Either way, who knows, but it's still more profitable for the person who has entered. Even Worlds doesn't even get that great of prizes, and at that point it's down to bragging rights, sure, but even that doesn't really kind of make it really that great. I feel like there should just be more fun things done. If we take like Magic the Gathering, I think it is, even the people who are 49th to 64th get $1,000. So if we, and I know I said at the start that Yu-Gi-Oh will never offer money, but if we compare the monetary value of that £1,000 to the monetary value of what you get, you could argue that only first place even kind of gets close to that. And again, I know they are it's kind of comparing apples and pears and apples and oranges at times, because of possibly the amount of funding that's behind it and the amount of people that are there. But it should be used as a pin-up. It should be used as an example and something to aspire to. And I'm not saying that everyone should get that amount of money and that amount of prizes, but I feel there should be some, let's say, creative direction going in there, and creative flair with what we can give out. If, for example, the Dark Lord cards are such a backlog that the Dragon Duelists are getting them, revamp that, and then start giving out maybe for the normal YCS prize pool, say like top 8 maybe get the YCS prize card. Top 8 get the Dark Lord cards, so they get the older cards. Or maybe top 32 could go into a raffle, and then at the end of the day, they go in and get those, get one of the prize cards that are just signed out. Now, I know there is another tournament as to the top cut and they get to play for a prize card. That's fine, but that's still playing more games and that's still playing more tournaments and you're investing more time into it. So while that should still exist, and I think that is a nice thing that should happen, I still think there should be more prizes given to the normal tournaments, because it is just a bit of a farce. The amount of time and effort and planning you will put into a tournament to get a mat and a box if you finish top 32 or top 16 or even top 8. Yeah, great. No, it just doesn't seem like there's anything there. It feels like they're just coasting with the prizes. I don't remember the last time they even shaked up the format of the prizes. It's just the same. And it's really boring. Because it's just boring. It's really crap. And I feel that they really need to change the prizes. They need to be looked at. And I've given loads of feedback on this, and who knows what will happen. And I realise I'm one person and I'm not important. And I don't have enough power to sway anything. But all I can do is give my feedback and opinion as someone who's been in this game since pretty much day one. I feel that it needs to change, because it needs to be more personalised. It needs to be more interactive with people. There needs to be better bang for your buck at what you're putting in. And to just feel like you're cared about, because that's what it is. It's like, oh cool, here's your trophy, here's your PS, here's your pointless console. See you at the World Championship qualifier. Cool. And I know that there will be obviously things after that. There will be like little interviews that you'll be done and you'll be featured, but is that worth it to you? It might be. Who knows? But I think that people should be looked after a lot more with what they can be given in their prizes. So I want to know what you guys think of the prize support in Yu-Gi-Oh! Do you think it's actually alright? Do you think I'm just kind of moaning? I realise I'm probably never going to get to that point because, you know, there are better people out there than me, but who knows? School Servant might do me well. They might print an amazing card and I'll be amazing. But I want to know if you actually think it's any decent. And I know that it can't compare to the other games like Magic and Pokemon, but what cool prizes do you think that are needed in the shake-up? So as I said, let me know down in the comment section below and make sure to give me a like, comment, subscribe, and I shall catch you guys later.